Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to 2025. I've had quite a time of it since Christmas and coming back. I've had a few health issues and it's taken me a while to get back into things. So this is my first video in 2025. So I'm hoping that I've got my sort of mojo back a little, which I've got to say, every time I go back to England, I do find that I have mojo issues, should I say, or stuff like that. When I come back, I get to the point where I just can't face my craft room at all. I don't craft when I'm away. But it's one of those things. When I get back, I'm never in the mood for it. I've got no inspiration. I don't know where to begin. I've had a few issues with my camera just lately, and I have got a new webcam that I haven't got set up yet. But it's just that I like the old setup, and to change something again, it's like, why? I don't need it. So I've been, I mean, to the point where I don't even watch YouTube. I don't watch YouTube. I don't, I mean, I keep abreast of Facebook when I can, but I've had a few issues with different things with my eyes and my headaches and stuff like that. So even that's been off the board for a while, and I've just got back into that and found some great January videos because I am so sick of Christmas. In fact, I'm that sick of Christmas, I've literally just chucked everything Christmas related away. I came into the craft room and I just thought, right, I just need to get my tray together and get some stuff together and see where I go from there. And I watched Mandy's soft and hardcover journals, which I'm so glad that I did because it's just got me into a bit of a groove. And these are the two that I've made. So I followed along with Mandy and I've made this Tim Holtz soft cover, which I have sewn all up and done bits and pieces to. I've made my signatures. And to be honest with you, this is my favourite thing to do. I absolutely love creating the cover and the signatures. And then I lose my way. When I have to come to fill it up, I lose my way completely, unless I'm focused on something specific. So I'm so glad Mandy started this sort of beginners, if you like, of how to with a hard and soft cover. And this was the hard cover. Now I bought this material from here. I don't have much blue, but I decided, let me just pop my phone somewhere. I decided that I'd go and have a look to see what I'd got. Now the fabrics here, there is fabric here everywhere, but it's either silky, satiny, flowy. You can get cottons, but it tends to be quite thin cotton. And I have had some nice pieces in the past, but they are very, very thin cotton. So I came across this one, and the only reason I bought it is because this is on the one end, which I absolutely love. And I cut it I ripped it and I've caught some of the top there, but I can get over that by folding that over, I think, or cutting it there, which I quite like the look of that anyway. And then this was on the other end. So I'm quite happy that I've, managed to get some blue. So I wanted to do blue because I don't do blue very often. I tend to stick with very neutrals, which you will see from the others that I've done in a minute. And so if you haven't started a journal and you want to start a journal, go across and see Mandy's. Now I'm going to show you how I do mine. I followed Mandy on these videos, but I've used exactly the same stuff. Okay, so this one's just decorated, this one isn't. And as I say, I've put the signatures together and they are all ready for the next video from Mandy's series. So if you do want to do it from a beginner's perspective, then go across to Mandy's and check it out because it was so informative. The other person that's doing them is Cara Renee from Be Reborn and Healing. And I really enjoyed her video because she's doing a beginner's course as well. So, but I really enjoyed her video because she sort of showed you how to get started. In other words, she gets her tray and she shows you exactly what she's done. She's gone around her craft room and she's picked out, she only uses digitals, I think. She's picked her digital papers that she's using, and then what she's done is she's got a tray and she's gone around her craft room and she's checked it all out, got all the bits and pieces that she thinks that will go. And I mean, some of them may not, but it was just her process. And I loved that. Now, I always have a tray, and I'll show you mine because it's full at the minute. So I always have a tray, okay? So I've got two of these, and what I do is I collect all the bits that I think I might need. So I get lace, I get anything blue, I've got words, I pick the ink colour that I'm going to use, anything else that I can think of. And then I've got a little basket, which I'll get and show you as well, because I've got loads and loads of ephemera, and I have a little basket, and I've gone through all of my ephemera and collected anything that's remotely blue-ish. Okay, so all is ephemera that I have cut out and done already. And so I've gone through all of my pieces of ephemera and just picked out stuff that I think I might want to use. Now there's loads in here. I've got quite a bit of Tim Holtz because I wanted to start using Tim Holtz bits, and butterflies, birds, photographs, people, all sorts of things. So there are my two go-to pieces. So that's exactly what I've done, a lot like Cara Renee did. So that was the process of this, and it got me all excited, and I thought, no, that's what I'm going to do. So I picked some papers in a blue colour. Now I'll probably do one of these in blue because I want to continue and follow Mandy's start to finish videos from the beginning. So it got me in the mood for doing some more covers. The other thing that it started me doing was because I'm thinking more of an ideas book. Now, I did start an ideas book late last year, but I did a 4 signature, and I love this cover. This was some cotton fabric that I got from here, this travel type one. I've had to put that on because it's quite gator mouth, but it can't see anything because it's so full, and some of the bits are so big, chunky. And there's pages that I've just not used yet, and there's no way I'm going to get any more in there. So what I think I'm going to do, just to get me started, I think I'm going to take this apart and turn this into a journal, because I do love this cover, and I loved the stitched spine. So I'm going to take it all apart and see what I can salvage, remake some of the pieces, and start a thinner ideas book. My idea really was to make them about this big with one signature in, so that it's got room to grow. But I was thinking of doing more like tag ideas, pocket ideas, odd ephemera ideas. Do you know what I mean? Things like that in each one. Because I look through this and I do love it. I love some of the pieces that I've created. I absolutely adore this. And I do love the pieces that I've created. But I look through it and I'm looking for, I don't know, a pocket idea, say. And yeah, that's a pocket. But I'll look through and think, oh, but I like this and I like that and I like the other. And then I make something completely different. So it's, I just love some of the pieces that I've created in here. but it sways me. What, I see something else and think, oh no, I'll do that, or oh no, I'll do that, and then it takes me an hour to look through it all. Whereas if I had a tag idea book, and then I had another book with pockets, another one with belly bands, another one with whatever it is, I just think it would be better, and then I'll label them. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, I don't know. Tell me how you do it. If you've got, because this is my very first ideas book. I've never done one before, and I just liked the idea because I make the ephemera up when I follow videos, and then it just ends up going in a box and I don't use it. So I want to really start using stuff and making ideas up, so that I can literally just have a look in my tag book and think, oh yeah, I like that tag, I'll do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So it got my juices flowing with, let's make some more. And I wanted to do some different size ones because I don't make small journals very often. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I got my materials and found some bits. This is from here as well. This is from here and this is from here. This one is from Temu. Now, I paid quite a bit for this, but it is thick. It's a nice, sturdy, thick material, which I really, really like. One, it's good for the glue side of things, but then I always use glue stick on my covers. I never use the wet glue anymore. I've ruined so many covers by using the wet glue. And to be honest, by the time you've put this together and put your papers in or material over the top of there, it's sturdy. You don't need to worry that that'll come apart. I mean, it's not gonna. So these are the ones that I made so far, and I thought I made this one exactly the same way as what I'm going to show you now. This is a repurposed book, and all I did was took the spine out and I've just extended the spine a little. And then this was just some old cardboard that I've doubled up and made a sturdy little notebook from that, which is, I probably will make it into a notebook, but I'm going to put elastics in, I think, so that I can keep the cover, because I don't want to cover that. I think that's quite pretty, and I don't really think it needs much more. Might put something over here just to decorate it a little, but I don't think I want to change that. This one, I'm probably going to do a bit like my ideas book, where I'm going to decorate the spine. Or is that this one? I might decorate the spine on this and make it a bit more like my ideas book. I think that'd be quite nice, and decorate the front. And then on this one, because I quite like this paper. I think this paper, it's not paper, is it? This material. I like this pattern. But again, see, this was from here and it's quite thin. Where did I see it? It's on one of the things. I think it's Japanese. Yeah, printed in Japan. But it's quite a thin material, and it's hard to know which is the right way or the wrong way up, because some go this way, some go that way. So it's quite difficult to work out, but we managed. And then I'll just show you this. I haven't sewn it up yet, but I've made this. Well, I haven't made it yet, but I bought some of these pouches, and this stuff that it's made of is just lovely. It's just so nice. It's so scrunchy. It's felt inside, which I'm not enamoured with, but I couldn't really warrant recovering it all. Otherwise, I may as well have just made it from scratch. But I've kept this. This was on the front, so it's a pouch like that, and then inside, this pocket is attached to this side, and so that's your pouch, and then you've got a pocket there. But I liked it because it's got like a little pen holder thing here, and I thought, wonder what we're to do. So I left the middle, and then I just undid all the way around. I've had to cut this down as well, just to shape it a little bit here and here, because I needed to cut a little bit off to make the depth of the cover. And then I just restitched it all back together. But what I did was I moved this over to here because I want this to be a pouch, a bit like the one that we're doing with Mandy. So that's my pouch, and I'm going to leave that in this scrunch material because I love it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get some of this covered. So I'm going to have a pocket. This is a pocket here on there. And then the front cover I'm going to sew, and I'm going to put that onto there. And then the back one, I'm just going to sew the 3 sides up and leave that as a pocket as well, just a little pocket. And then I'm going to just put something down the 2 ends here for the spine, maybe lace. I don't know yet. I haven't really overly thought about that one. So I'm going to get the sewing machine out and do that in a jiff. So that's my next one. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to show you how to easily make this cover, and you can do this within half an hour. Less than half an hour. So once you've decided on what size you want, you're away really, and then you can do as many as you want, and they're already there for you to just add to as and when you want to cover them or fill them up. So my idea is for ideas books, but whether that takes plan, I don't know. So let's get started. So okay, we're going to start with a Amazon packaging. So these are the envelopes. Unfortunately, these are old ones, and I know they're old ones because they're like the I don't know how to explain it. It's like a softer, furrier craft card, whereas these new ones are a lot more sturdier and they're corrugated, whereas these ones aren't. So that's how I know that these ones are the older type. Now, these were from my stash that I bought back from the UK. And I only really wanted to show you these because they all have an indicator. And unfortunately, this one's been covered up and I can't pick it off, I don't think. It's coming off like that. And so but I think it's an M3, if I remember rightly. Whatever size that means. And I'll tell you what size it is. It is 11.5 by 9. And that is more than enough to make a cover for your journal. So you can go as small as this, or you can make them from this. Now, when I used to do these before, I used to open these, but I used to score my spine inside. These are on the A3 size, and then you get this one, which is, oh, that's an M4. I don't know whether it's a new size guide or what. It's quite. So I'm going to use an M4 because that's all I have in the newer packaging. So that will fit the A4 type. And this one's going to be a bit difficult to do on here, but we're going to do our best. So I'm just going to cut off the lips. Okay, so I'm cutting off that side, and I'm going to cut off down to 12 on this side because I want 2 pieces of 6. So I'm going to cut that off there. I want my blade over there. I need to pull it towards me to work. So I'm going to cut it at 12. So whatever size you have, that's hard work. Whatever size you have is fine to use. So just cut it down to, you want 2 pieces of 6 by 8.5. So we want this now. This is, that's the 12 side. So you want to cut that again and do that at the top there. I want to cut that again at 6, don't I? So I'm going to cut my 2 pieces out. I'm leaving both pieces together. Shouldn't really do this with this machine. Okay, so they should be 6 now. 6 and 6. And then this one, we want it at 8.5. And we want this one at 8.5. Okay. Sometimes this doesn't cut straight. Right. The big boy can go away now, I think. Let me just see if I've got a spine handy, which I have. Let me just cut that down to 8.5. Should have done it the other way. There we go. So I've got a spine there, and I'm just using what I've got, which is just a smidge over 2.5. I just want to get rid of this so that you can see what we're doing. So we've got 2 pieces, we've got scraps there, we've got 2 pieces there, and we've got a spine here. Okay, now they are all doubled up, and I want to keep it doubled up because this corrugated stuff isn't always great for journals unless it's pretty sturdy. Now, you can do this in a different way if you choose to, and that is to open it completely and just cut your pieces out. So it's like any piece of card. You don't have to use Amazon packaging. You can use any piece of card. You can use cereal boxes, and you just cut them down to size. And I found this size is great for your A4 sheets. So just to give you the measurements again, the cover size is 8.5 by 6. You need 2 pieces, or if you're using thinner card, just cut whatever card out that you want and glue them all together. Now I am going to glue these together just for sturdiness, but it's only going to be a quick sort of putting together. Just give that a good squeeze down again on this one. Now I have done it before where I have left one of them open on this side and I've created a pocket, but it will all depend on whether you're covering it in paper, card or material. If you're doing it in material, then you can't leave one of your ends open. I'm going to glue this as well because it's my spine and I just want to get that glued up just to give it a bit. I'm not bothered about this. I haven't got a piece, I don't think, that is flat enough, but it's not going to bother me really. And I'm not sure whether I want to cut that down because my spine is usually about 2.5. I don't know how to use that side. And this one is just over, it's in between 2.5. I'm going to leave it because it's cut and I don't want to faff around. So that's the bits that we've got And then literally all we do is we're going to pop those together. And I'm going to do it with some craft tape. I've used different tapes in the past. So I've used, this is a black masking tape. You can also use cream masking tape. I've used a fabric tape, grey fabric tape. So there's lots of different things that you can attach it with. And if you're covering it, it doesn't actually matter. Now, if you're doing, I've done it with the black tape before, where if you're covering it with a card or papers, I've literally done it this way and left it like that and then covered directly on top and left the black on the outside if I was creating a black journal. You can do it with the creamy coloured masking tape, or you can do it with this, or some fabric tape. Any tape will do. And they're all pretty good. I mean, because you actually cover all the edges of it, it's very unlikely for it to come apart. We're going to just stick with the craft today because I'm not bothered about, I'm going to be covering it all. So literally what we're going to do is we're going to put a big long piece down there. And you haven't got to be precious about this either. Now, I'm just going to pick an end. So it's going to go half on, half off. I want that to be straight though. Okay, half on, half off. And then you're going to put your, you're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch for your spine. And you're going to be doing that. And then we're literally just going to pull this over and do that. Pull this up and do that. Okay, we'll do the same again. Nice long piece. And we're going to pop this half on, half off. Doesn't matter where on your tape, as long as you can come around that corner. And then you're going to go about 1/8 of an inch apart down there, and we're going to do that one, and we're going to pull that one up the top there, and then we're just going to do that. And we're just going to do that. Just make those sit together. Just burnish that tape down a little bit. Okay. And it's that simple to get your cover. Okay, I'm going to just burnish these down a little bit, these edges. Just to flatten them slightly. And I'll show you why in a minute, because we're going to cover these edges now. You don't have to do this stage. I like to do it on, so that all of that side there is rounded. So I'm not too bothered about that side, but this is a bare edge and it's showing the corrugated. I do want to do that now. All I'm doing with this, because there's a join there, I'm just flattening that corrugated down a little bit on that spine, and it will just show less. So what I'm going to do is, and then I'm going to stand it up, I'm going to pop that on in the middle, and I'm going to pop that down there. Okay, I'm going to get my scissors, and I don't use my best scissors for this. I'm just going to mite to that corner, mite to this corner, and then I'm going to squeeze it down the middle and just pop that down there. Okay. going to do the same for this side. Turn it around. And we're going to go from that edge down the middle so it's half on one side, half on the other. And then I'm just going to snip those off. It's because I've left. This is why I don't use my best scissors, because you get sticky everywhere. Okay. It just helps when you do it this way. I didn't cut it. It just helps with the rolling of the papers on the ends. It just stops it from happening as much, and gives you a better finish. It's going to be covered anyway. It just helps with that sort of thing. I'm going to do the middle bit now, and that's only that big. We're going to go on there and on there. I'm going to have to use some scissors or snips because I've glued those up. I do apologise about the prayer. It's out of my hands, unfortunately. I cannot do anything about it. Okay, and we're just going to do that. Okay, so you've got one side done. I don't need to do that side because I'm covering the whole thing, so I'm not bothered about doing the underneath. It just will give you a better finish. So I'm going to do both ends because they're both raw edges. And it does help with okay, I'm just going to do this end onto the end there, straight across the middle, and then you're just going to do that and that and that and that. Come on up there, down the middle, and then just run your hands along there. Okay, didn't quite get to the end of there. I'm just going to cut that off and that off. Last one then on this side. If you can get it half and half, get it half and half. If you don't and you miss it, because you're covering it, don't worry about it. You haven't got to be precious about this bit. Okay, and there we have that. And I like to do this because it gives you a nicer finish on your ends, so that when you do cover it, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute, but what I like to do is I just like to run my bone folder now down the edge there. See? Flat. Okay, do the same along here, nice and flat. Same along the spine there. Okay. Same along the top of there. Same along this piece. You can do the same along the bottom, even though it hasn't been cut, covered. We'll give you the same sort of effect, and it gives you a nice finish. I'll just show you on, where's my books gone? Maybe it was this one. Yeah, see? So it sort of gives you this nice crisp finish when you've got your cover on the sides there. And this was the rounded ends, and I didn't flatten it, but that's flattened, and that's flattened. It gives it a nice, it's just nice, just a nice finish to it. And then literally all you're going to do is just going to burnish all that in. Make sure it's all done on both sides. Okay. And then you're ready to cover it in material. So I'm going to pick some material and I'll be back. Okay, so I've picked, unfortunately, it's neutral yet again. But I've picked this one. This, again, was from Temu. This is a nice, thick sort of material. And I thought I'd just use this and it'll keep me on the same sort of lines. So what you need, let me just move those bits because I need to keep those. I need to leave about an inch all the way around. So what we want to do now is we want to cut it there, and we want to cut it about there. So I'm going to cut along the shortest part first. Well, I'm not, I'm ripping. So I'm just going to tear that. Hopefully that's enough to give me another journal, which it is just about. So out of a quarter, I have got enough for 2 journals. Now it is no, it's not directional paper material, so it doesn't really matter where I go. And that cuts skew width over there. Which part did I measure? Oh, it looks like it's ripped skew. So I've got less on that side. But it doesn't matter, there's more. I'll tear that. I always think these extra bits here are useful to fill up your journal, and I always keep these. I don't know if everybody else does. It's one of those strange things. But I like to use them for, so pick which is the front, which is the back, doesn't really matter. I want that inside. I don't want it on the outside. So I'm going to pop that like that. Unfortunately, it is, it ripped on the skew. I don't know why that happened. I can't make it any better than that. So I'm just going to have to be careful on this end here. But we'll see how we go. And I always use glue stick for this. I just find it easier. It doesn't seep through, and I'm just getting some glue in my in the crevice of there, because I want it to stick into there. And then I'm just going to go around all the edges. I like to put plenty on, and I like to cover as much of the cardboard as possible. And I'm just going to do it all. You can do this part and then this part if you want to. I used to start like that, but now I just do it this way and cover the lot. It's just easier, and this glue doesn't dry overly quickly, so it makes it easier. And even to the point where I've stuck it down and I can actually still take it off and reposition it if something drastic happens. I'll just put the lid on that. for now. I will use it again in a moment. And then I'm just going to pop that down, give it a bit of a rub on this side, and then I'm going to flip it over. Make sure that it's completely flat on this side. And then I'm going to just find my creases and get those creased in. And that's that. And then for this bit, I'm just going to cut off the corners. So literally just leaving a little bit of extra material just over the corner bit there. Now, if you struggle with this bit, obviously you can use book corners, metal book corners, which always add a little bit extra to your cover. But if you don't have any or you don't like them, just leave a little bit extra if you're new to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet that material either side there on all four corners, so it's wet. I'm going to do the two sides first, so just come in about 1 inch, which is about the amount that you should have. I want to get it into those grooves of the spine, so make sure they're wet inside there. Now do one at a time if you want to. It is easier if you're new to it, just do one at a time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it in from the middle and from the end there. So I'm going to do the two shorter ends first. You don't have to, you can do the and just do it like I do with paper. So what I'm going to do, because that material's wet on that end, I'm just going to crease that in. You will get glue on your bone folder. Just crease that in and flatten that down a little, making sure there's glue there. And then I'm just going to do the same on this side. In from the middle, push out to the sides, making sure you've got it as tight as you can. Just bring it over, and then this one's got a little bit extra material on, but just bring that in and fold it over. Bring it in and fold it over. And then for this one, you want your glue again, and I just want to glue these bits here for it to attach to when you fold it back. So we're just going to pull that over, pull it over, pull it over. Okay, this one's not pulled in enough. And then we're just going to run the bone folder down and remove that all the way. And then your corners should be nicely covered. Okay, do the same on this side. Bring it over. Make sure you've got that corner glued down. Same with that side. Down you go to the edges. And there. And see how you've got some nice sharp edges on here. That's just from the inside. That's got a kink in it. Just make sure that you've got those done. Make sure that that folds okay there. Nice and flat there. Okay, when you do that. And then when you do that, just make sure you've got no bobble. Now at the moment, it doesn't matter which way up this goes. So, it's all upside down. Well, it's not. It's just the other way around. Whichever way you want to go anyway. And that gives you some nice edging on here, because we flatten those edges out with that tape on. So that's nicely covered. And then all we're going to do, depending on what you're going to put in the middle, whether you're going to cover the whole thing with a piece of material or whether you're just going to cover the spine. I like to cover my spine with a bit of material. I don't know if I've got enough. Have I got a piece here? Yeah, I have. So I'm just going to go with a light material here. You can have a contrast, whatever you want, if you've got two pieces that you want to do together. I just need to cut that off about there. So I'm just going to rip that off. And I'm probably going to leave it that wide. Should I? Let me just see. Yeah, I'm going to leave it that wide. Just saves me cutting it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to come down about an inch this way. Well, that was more than an inch, sorry. I want to get my glue in that groove and come across the top there, down this side about an inch or more, depending on what you want to do. Plenty of glue there. I just want to rub that glue in there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to level it up and then bring that down to the bottom there. And then rub that in. Okay. I've just got a piece of, that's it. It's going to be a nice size actually. That's fine. That'll give your spine as much as it needs. I've got quite a few bits hanging off of here, which you want to take off or leave on, depending on what look you're going for. And there, that's almost ready for... And there you go. So I think what we'll do with this one is I'll carry on with this one. Although all of them are in the same position now. Where are they? Here they are. All of these are in the same position and they've all got to the same place. So whatever size you're doing, if you're following along, that is. Be nice if you were. That's where we're at for the first piece. And then I think the next stage would be is to pick a paper or whatever style journal you want to do. I'm yet to do a Tim Holtz. I need to do a Tim Holtz one. But they're all in the same place, so we can use any of these ones. I'm going to pick some papers to use to create the journal. I'm going to put, I'm just going to write down, I think I'm just going to put 2 in there, 2 pieces in there. So 2 signatures in that one. I think we'll just put 1 in this one, 1 signature in that one. And then in this one, I'm going to do 2 signatures in that one. And then I'm going to do, I think I'll do 3. Yeah, no, maybe 2 if I'm going to use it as a, I'll put 2 in so that I can repurpose some of those from the ideas book, because that's what I'm thinking of doing. And then we can do a bit of decorating on the front. We can put our signatures in and get those boards covered. But I need to pick the papers and stuff first. So I think we'll leave it there for today. And then I'll come back once I've picked some papers, or even neutrals. We could just use neutrals. We'll get some signatures put in them, and we'll work on that. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a go at it. It doesn't take long at all to do. It's really quick, really easy. You can make them up as neutrals like this with any fabric that you want or papers that you want. In fact, what we could do is I'll do another one. I'll leave it bare, and then we'll cover it, we'll board it with card, with paper, so that you can see that it's versatile with anything. So you could make these up, just the cardboard pieces up ready. That would be easy to do, and you could have them all waiting to go, which would be another great thing to do. So yeah, we'll do a cardboard one as well to follow on with this one, so that we do a material version and we do a paper version. I think that might be a good idea. Let me know what you think in the comments, because that would be helpful to know. And I'll make another one up, and we'll do that in card as well alongside it. But yeah, so they're really easy. Have a go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.